to start the week, the trip to Yerushalayim was amazing. Like the Shabbos, it was hot in the tunnel there, and we had to walk. We walked through Shah Shem with my sons because they seem to think it's not so dangerous, even though every other human being thinks it is. And we went through there, but there was a bunch of other Hasidim going that way as well.
The Hasidim walk through there.
In Pachat, the lawyer. So we walked through, and it was fine. Baruch Hashem, so good Shabbos to all the soldiers on the way. Nice and warm. Got a nice minyan. There was a Vishnitz minyan which I should have joined, but I ended up.
That's one in the front.
Corner, but but in the tunnel it's right at the entrance. But there was this guy, this Nazir with long hair, and my son wanted to join his minyan, and it was actually geschmack. They were pretty much similar timing. So we had the songs of the Vishnitz with the guy shouting and the Nazir minyan.
The shouting one, right?
Yeah, so we just did the shouting.
I thought the shouting one was the Vishnitz one.
No, they're different.
There's always the same in the front left corner, right by the entrance.
So we had the shouting and the Vishnitz. So then we made it back to our nice apartments. And once again, like 10-minute walk through Shah Shem, literally to the door where we're staying. And it was amazing. Had a nice warm apartment, not like my freezing cold house or whatever it's called, townhouse in Efrat, where I have to try warm it up, but it never really works. And Baruch Hashem. So then the day was geschmack. We had that, by the way, that Tom guy who was playing the guitar of Shabbos. That was geschmack, no? Yeah. He came to my house and he's the one fixing some of the leaks and stuff. So he was the example where I'm doing the Peshara, doing that middle thing with the Baldur, Right. Because I just couldn't wait anymore because it was like getting all fungusy and blue on the wall. So I just got it fixed, Baruch Hashem. And he did a really good job. So he's a good handyman, by the way, if you ever need one.
He's like a craftsman.
Yeah, and it's worth supporting him because look at his talent,
He's a musician.
So we'll get into the Shabbos day by my Rebbe. Had a big avoda. Baruch Hashem, Sat Shemaya. It was nice to get back to the holy avoda of Yerushalayim, the Tzaddikim, so Shemaya. So it's my Rebbe, obviously, and learn Baruch Hashem mikveh Dushinsky mikveh. You mean Dushinsky?
Dushinsky mikveh, I love it.
Yeah, Baruch Hashem. So these all mean something to you.
8 different pools.
So it was a nice hot pool at 5 a.m, empty, clean, crystal blue waters. Maybe not.
I don't know if Dushinsky's mikveh is ever clean.
No, but it felt clean compared to what it will be in like 3-4 hours. Yeah.
They had like 4 or 5.
No, it was very clean considering. I mean, I think it's emptied out at night by some non-Jew, and then they heat it up again.
Do they have that also
or they have levels? It hot ready? Yeah.
They're like hot.
I went to the boiling hot. I went to the boiling hot, and it was. I try not to enjoy it too much. I ended up Min Hashemayim learning a Torah from Avoda to Avoda, from the Tolna Rebbe, all about hot mikveh and Shabbos. It was like a shkach and and I opened up everything. I opened up every sefer I opened up that morning. It was like a Kabbalas Torah Shabbos. It was like a shkach and what it was talking about, exactly what I needed to hear. And the best part was my Rebbe and what I learned all connected into what we're learning now with Tanya. So everything was very divine providence and chizuk. And Baruch Hashem, I had to hold a chulent on the way to Yerushalayim, boiling hot chulent, and it was like almost like jumping out the pot. Like almost I got this new jumper that I'm so happy. Finally got a new jumper. I was like sweater, whatever you call it, and it was jumping onto my sweater. Like thank God it didn't. It made it onto the towel, but not on my sweater. And we had to empty some of the liquid on the way because it was just too much. But it was worth schlepping that chillin'. It was so geschmack. Shabbos day, cold Shabbos in Yerushalayim. Come back to a nice chillin'. Didn't have to go to anybody. It worked out. I was thinking about going to the Hammer Brothers. You know the Hammer Brothers? Bensi and Shalom.
I feel like I've heard
of them. They're from the Stiebel there in 5 Towns.
Oh, yeah, the Hammer, yeah. They live there?
They live in Mashka. One of them does now. They used to both live, but one of them moved to Ramat. Shlomo. So, right. Anyway, so it didn't end up working out. So Baruch Hashem was happy. Could just go home and just eat and rest. It was so nice, this apartment, Baruch Hashem. Thank you, Hashem. So we start the week with a lot of chizuk and a lot of chizuk for what we're learning. So there's a summary here that's really important from my friend Reb Shmuel Dam. I just sent it to you by PDF. It says mitzvahs, garments of the soul. That's everything we did. Chapter 4. Yeah, I sent it to you. Just looking at WhatsApp. 3 garments of nefesh elikus. It's my other WhatsApp. This is where I got more memory on this phone. The impetus to perform mitzvahs. The garments are higher than the nefesh elikus, I think. Yeah. Hashem is one with Torah's garments of the nefesh elikus are of Torah mitzvahs. No one grasps Hashem So Hashem created for us a way of connecting to Him, thought, speech, and action in the garments of Torah mitzvahs. The experience of Hashem Himself is not available to beings in the higher worlds, including the world to come. They may experience the ray of the Shekhinah. Analogy of hugging and being hugged by the King. There is no difference to the closest spheres wearing one garment or many. Torah is compared to water, just like water flows from a high place to a low place, so to Torah, unchanged from Hashem Himself to His world. And then, this is where we're at now. The Torah, food for the soul. This is Chapter 5, Perek Hamishi, the concept of intellectual grasping. That was last week's end to the week. To grasp something means to surround it. And it's funny because my Rebbe mentioned the word tefisa. When you're learning Torah, have a tefisa. We're learning a concept where we are simultaneously grasping it and immersed within it. When we learn and understand Torah, especially our minds both envelop Hashem and immerse with Hashem, who is one with His Torah. And then he goes, this is really, really important now. This last part of this chapter is like life-saving for YISRAEL, for especially this generation when everyone's so crazy, worrying about their panasa and running after it all day. He says, Torah is compared to bread. By thoroughly understanding Torah, we learn that Torah merges with us, becomes us, just like the food we eat becomes our body. So this is what we're going to learn now. Okay, so we have to understand that just like we have to nourish the body,
right? Even
more so we have to nourish the soul. So that's the whole switcheroo of what the focus should be.
Switcheroo.
Yeah, like YISRAEL's focus is Torasa Kavah. That should be what's fixed. Malachta Arai, and your work is not fixed. It's like whenever you need to make panas, you go make it, but it's not the most important thing. The true most important thing is Torah. It doesn't mean you have to go join a kollel or, blah, blah, blah. It just means you put in your schedule Torah as a priority, because it's the nourishment of your soul. And if you don't learn any Torah, generally you start falling into who knows what. Okay, but that's just generally reality and I think we all know what we're talking about without even having to say it out.
Yeah.
That was the last thing we did. This is the most beautiful line. Now it's a wonderful unity in the physical realm. That's what we got to. So we're holding now the Zos. You're holding by the Zos. Zois. I'm going to read it inside this one. Zos Mali Yisera Gedola Nifla La'ain Kates Asher B'mitzvus Yidiyah Satorah V'Sagasa Al Kol Mitzvus Masis Afilo Al Mitzvus Talias Bedava Afilo Al Mitzvus Talmud Torah Shebedibo Ki Ayidei Kol Mitzvus Shebedibo Masa Kosh Baruch Ma Bishas Nefesh Makifa Or Hashem Marosha Va'ad Ragla. Yeah, this is where we got to, I think. Is that correct? Yeah. Isn't it? Yeah.
That's where we got to.
Yeah. So the idea that this is distinct, infinitely great and wonderful, I like the translation here, superiority of the mitzvah, of knowing and comprehending Torah. So I think, remember we were sort of talking about it, we're going to get to the Milas of Torah. Torah is like above the mitzvahs. Al kol ma'aseh mitzvahs, afilo al mitzvahs talim b'dibo. Afilo al mitzvahs Talmud Torah b'dibo. So, but the truth is, when you're learning, it's also a mitzvah.
Right.
So there's back and what's more mila? Well, in order to learn, we have to do the mitzvah of Talmud Torah, which is b'dibo, which is one of the levushim. And that lacks the infinitely superior quality of comprehending Torah. Ki oyedei mitzvahs shebedibo ma'aseh HaKadosh Baruch Hu malbish etz nefesh. Once again, it has to come into clothing. Makifa or Hashem marosha v'ad ragla. This is what we just read to. For through the mitzvahs performed in action and speech, God clothes on envelops with His light from head to foot. Yeah, from the highest to the lowest. B'diyas Torah milvad shaseichu malbush b'chachmas Hashem hine gam b'chachmas Hashem b'kirbo. While in the case of knowledge of Torah, apart from the intellect being clothed in divine wisdom, the wisdom is also divine within him, so that he envelops it. MASHA seichu masig tofis makif mesichlo MASHA efshalo tofis lahastig mediyas haTorah. For his intellect comprehending, grasping, and encompassing what Torah knowledge is capable of grasping and comprehending. Each man according to his intellect capacity for knowledge and understanding. Pardes. I remember we actually opened up the Rav Shulchan Aruch this week. I thought it's been a while since I learned it. And I went through all these parts, and it brought this concept from the Tanya. Because remember it says Sefer anyway, it's Rav Shulchan Aruch, same author, of Shnei Zaman of Liadi, and he's talking about the Hilchos Talmud Torah it's in Yoredeya section of Shulchan Aruch. And it says there, near the end of the Sefer, that part of the Rav Shulchan Aruch, There's 4 chapters, I think, and the first one, it brings this concept, and it says, therefore, that's why a person needs to learn according to what he's shaykh to.
Right.
That concept, because each person has, according to his seichel, his koach, his strength, and his ability to know and to comprehend in pardes, according to which level of Torah your soul comes from. So it's all connected, and the point is, there's all these levels. There's pshat, remez, drosh, and sod. The fish b'dias, and he brings examples over there as well, which is nice. The fish b'dias Torah mabushas b'nefesh adam b'sicha b'kufis b'socham. Since through the knowledge of Torah, the Torah is absorbed in the soul and intellect of the person, is compassed within him. Now this is the addition that we hadn't got and said before. Up until now, we sort of said this in the previous concept when we brought up the idea of the ore and its clothing a person, and the idea of pardes, and by grasping, we added on a new point. This is the chaynikras b'shem lechem mazon nefesh. It's called the bread and food of the soul.
I'm just catching up 1 second.
Yeah, this we haven't said before. This is a new emphasis. You take your time, no problem.
Yeah.
You have to be able to understand this. It's a lot in one go, because you're sort of bringing together everything we said before, and now adding in this point. L'chein nikram b'shem lechem mazon nefesh. That this is all this light that's surrounding us. We bring it into levush of feet, head to foot, through speech.
This is his new word. It's like umekufes. Kufes.
Yeah, this same mekefes b'socham. It's like encompassed within them. It's like mekefes gevil, like a surrounding cloth. It's a concept of surrounding. Yeah, encompassed within them.
Engulfed for something else.
Yeah, so it's like they've used a similar word a few times. But the point is, it surrounds us. We have mekefes gevil in Hilchos Sofos.
Right.
You have to have surrounding cloth. The white surrounds the black. Letters can't connect. They don't have mekefes gevil. It's pasul. Apostles are Sefer Torah. Everyone has to have space around them. It's very important. Some people, I don't know if you noticed, but they don't respect people's space. They come up to you and like talk in your face.
Seinfeld has an episode, a close talker.
Yeah, it's like, wait a minute. Like, I've got my surrounding cloth. I've got my own light, and you've got your light, and I'm happy to talk to you and connect. But like, you're not my wife. Get back off. Yeah. Anyway, but the point is, you have to have mekefes b'socham.
Here explains why learning in Yedias Torah is greater than any other mitzvah.
Yeah.
Because when you do a regular mitzvah,
this is what we're getting to.
Malbish es hanefesh u'makifa ar Hashem. Right, and he's absorbed in the light of Hashem.
Yeah. Surrounded. This goes in. This is panemius.
B'dias Torah milvad shaseichel meluva shechachmas Hashem. Yekam chachmas Hashem b'kirba. You have that extra element of chachmas Hashem.
So the chachmas Hashem goes inside. Just like when you eat. When you eat food, it gets absorbed in your nefesh, like it becomes part of you. This Torah becomes part of you, like we said before. It's a yichin nifla.
Right.
It becomes one with you, so it's nourishing you, your neshama. Without it, your soul is distance. Like it. If you think about it, when you're fasting, what happens? You start to feel a bit faint because your soul's not being drawn into your guf. So too, if you're on a ruchnius level, if you're not eating Torah and drinking wisdom, chachmas Hashem, so your body, your soul starts to distance from your body because it's no longer being connected in anymore to your mind and your heart.
Yeah.
So you have this light around you, but it's not going in. People have an or makif. There's lots of people walking around with or makif, but they don't have or panimi. They don't have that inner light. The key is, it's very nice that people have a light around them. And when I first did tshuva, I was very into that light around people. But if it's not coming from within, that's not the point of it. It has to influence the person within, not just his potential. It's like you're seeing someone with so much potential, but it's not being grasped at all. It's not being internalized. Right. So he's just walking around with all this wasted potential. What you need to do is bring it inside. How do you bring it inside? By learning. When you learn, it becomes internalized. The way my Rebbe explained it is on Shabbos, Shasidus, he said that it's very nice. You have these people with great minds, genius. He calls me a genius. It doesn't always mean he's praising you. It means that you have a great mind. So what? Yeah, you have a good mind that works fast, easy to grasp things. But what the problem is, your heart's not in it because it's easy.
Right.
He told a whole story from the Pnei Menachem based on the Sivas Emes, that this whole concept that it's the whole thing. The Torah has to go believe, has to go inside. Allah Avcha. The real avodah is to bring it into the heart. That's what Hashem wants. Giving you a genius cup is not what the tachlis. Rachmana liba boy. Hashem wants the heart. How do you get it into your heart? By davening, by having a rotzen, by having a shver salev, and asking Hashem to give you the connection to the Torah. That is what we need to do, and in a daily level. That's what Avinu Avarachman. We're davening every day. Targaleinu b'sorah secha. Tefillah is getting us accomplished. Arneinu b'sorah secha. Dabek lebeinu b'mitzvah secha. To connect us in. There's all stuff my Rebbe was saying yesterday. So that he had a bocha who was a shvachis bocha in the Sfas Emes Yeshiva, and Pnei Menachem was Rosh Yeshiva, and the Tolna Rebbe was somehow involved with him, and he brought him into the office of the Pnei Menachem, and the Pnei Menachem allowed him to stay, and he watched this bocha like sittering, like trembling of fear to become in front of the Rosh Yeshiva, and he just couldn't learn. And Rosh Yeshiva wanted to know, what is your issue, like why are you having such a hard time in Yeshiva? He said, I don't understand the Torah, like I learn, and I really want to learn, and I don't understand it. He said, I'm jealous of you, Pnei Menachem said. He said, I grew up in the Shtib of the Alter Rebbe. So I grew up with Tam Chachomim surrounding me, and the Torah is easy for me. I have a crop that was gifted for me from Shemayim. I can learn. I'm a Rosh Yeshiva. It's easy for me. Yeah. For you, it's impossible. Yeah. You know how much Shver Salev you have? He said, yeah, I can't take it anymore. He said, this Shver Salev is going to be your key to success. Keep working. Don't ever give up, and you will see success. He gave him a bracha. He went out, ended up becoming a dayan in a big beis din. The Tolna Rebbe knows him. The Pnei Menachem saw that happen before he passed away. Became a dayan in a beis din. So and it was hard the whole way. Never became easy. But he just kept singing it. That's a Amelim B'Torah. He said, I never had that Amelim B'Torah. You've got the Amelim B'Torah. The effort you have to put in. So this is the bringing the lechem and the mazen inside you. Yeah, it's avoda. It's avodas Hashem. It's not just some gift that you just open up a sefer and then you just have all this ruchnius. You have to actually work on it. It takes internalization to internalize the Torah.
Interesting.
Lechem mazen and nefesh. So that's
interesting how he specifically talks about only learning Torah.
Yeah. Torah is the only thing that can do this.
What do you define as Torah? Some people broaden the horizons of Torah.
Torah is part is what we said before, is all the different levels of Torah. Pshat, Remez, Drosh, Soid. Chochma Goyim.
The interpretation.
Chochma B'Goyim Tamin. You believe that there's wisdom in the non-Jews, so there's wisdom, but it's not Torah. Right. Torah Hashem is a different madrega of Gilui.
Right. I'm saying specifically, like you would have, the classics. You have Tanakh. You have
Mishnayos, Gemara, Halacha, Penimis Torah, like Midrashim, Sifri, Chasidus. Yeah, all this stuff. This is all Torah. Anyone who says that any of that's not Torah is just maybe their nefesh. Maybe their nefesh is very pshat orientated or remez. So when they see Chasidus or Kabbalah, it looks to them like gobbledygook. Yeah, like they just don't connect to it.
Right.
So there's kind of neshamas. It's not no criticism on them. They just don't have a neshama that's shorished and sod and drush.
Right.
It's shorished in the lower levels of Torah, which is still high level. Every level's high. Yeah, every level's Ratzon Hashem. So it's not like you're on a high level than him. Right. It's just different shorish and neshamas of different parts of Torah. You just have to be real. No, yeah, you get a guy like that. It's not. He's not less than someone who's Hasidish neshama. He's just different. And he has a different chalik of Torah. You have earth kind of people, more grounded. Right. I say in a frat, I always get a feeling it's a more earthy place. Yeah,
it is definitely.
People are very grounded here. Yeah,
yeah,
very yekapops. Like, excuse me to use that language. Sorry, that's what my wife uses. I hope that's not Lashon Hara. But I've met a lot of people here very into time and Yiddishkeit being a certain way. They go to work and they probably make Hashem very happy with their service to Hashem and their service to the Medina, and they have their children in the army. Very proper people. Yeah, right. And it's a great halavai. Yeah. I'm like I don't fit in any of these categories, thank God. But everyone's different. But I'm just saying, so they're on a madrega, that madrega. So that's an earthy neshama. Then you have a more like airy neshama, more svat kind of,
Right.
you know. And then you have a more eish neshama, Yerushalayim, it's just there now, and it's like the fire of Torah and the fire of Yiddishkeit, and everything's on fire, like Ruchnias, Gashmias, everything's at eish. You know, Rasimai, you read his Svarim, it's like the fire burning, you know, technology, and it's like everything's a fire, yeah. And then you go to Tveria, and it's more relaxed, more calm, more tranquil.
More water.
Yeah, like it's more peaceful. You go to some of these towns that are out up north, and it's more calm.
There's a lot of crime up north.
Maybe, but it's more calm. Yeah,
definitely more calm.
So
up north, it's very calm. We went up north, and it was like.
Yeah. So in fact, also compared to Yerushalayim, is more calm because it's more grounded. But it can be a little bit too grounded if you. That's why we went back to Yerushalayim. We needed a bit of fire. You know, would I like to go up sometime to Shevat or Tveria? My son loves Tveria, the one in the armor. He wants to get home in Tveria and just.
Really?
Yeah, he wants to have.
Shevat.
Yeah, no, he doesn't want Shevat. He wants Tveria. He wants the water. He loves going to the mikveh, Mayanot. He wants the nice temperature there. He wants the quality of life. It's much cheaper, the property and everything.
Up north it is, yeah.
Yeah.
You can buy like a really nice house there.
So you get a nice place, and you don't have this whole space issue like we have down here. You know, so you know every place has its milers, and every neshama has its milers because you have all different kinds of neshamas who connect to different places, and different parts of Torah, different halakim of Torah. There's more the fiery, panemius kind of guy, and then there's the more tranquil, Svat kind of guy, and then there's the guy, there's a mix of everything, and then there's the guy, like you said, a guy's into pshat. I remember in the Shiva, literally, it was hard for me. I'd go to these, because I used to be really into Rev Nachman Borman, then he got ill, so a different Rav took over the drushes last Shabbos, and suddenly, instead of it being this like journey through Tanakh and Tzaddikim and Chassidus, it was a journey through pshat of Rashi. And he was just going more and more into pshat. Like there was no drush, there was nothing else, just pshat.
Right.
His whole shir was pshat. I just did not connect to this guy. His son became a famous politician, which makes sense because pshat, like everything's pshat.
Very pshat.
Yeah, I just couldn't connect, and it was like, you're sitting there forcing yourself to listen because he's like the new speaker now in the shul in the yeshiva, and then at a certain point I was like, I can't be here anymore. I just don't connect to this soul. It's not my shliach. I never ended up in his shir, Baruch Hashem. But even that Friday night Josh is just eventually I just couldn't do it anymore. And that's why you have to find what kind of lechem. Like this lechem doesn't fit in me. Like it's too dry. I don't know what. Yeah, it's too hard. It's like Russian bread or something. I just don't. It's black. I just can't eat it. Nikum b'shem lechem wasn't never like boy. People used to eat bread back in the day. Kimoshe lechem gash mizan etz aguf, or that fluffy white stuff you get in Israel that's made of nothing except rubbish. Doesn't do anything. I got fat off that kind of bread. I used to eat it for years, and it was so unhealthy. I don't know why I bothered. Yeah. Thank God I stopped eating all that kind of stuff.
All those bakeries.
It's rubbish.
What's the one in Meshar?
Angel, Nechama. Nechama is a Meshrim.
Nechama Bakery?
Yeah, that old one.
The old
next
one.
It used to be next to Ner Jake. We used to go there middle of the night.
And where's the one near the Mir Yeshiva?
Yeah. Oh, that also. Yeah. Same one. Same brand.
That's the Nechama Bakery.
They're both. I think they're both called Nechama. Same chevra. Yeah, middle of the night. Yeah, on basis as well.
Just white, fluffy, powdery.
Yeah, I mean maybe they've changed a little bit. I don't know, because some people now want more healthier. Kamosha lechem gashmi zan es aguf, nisa besocha kuba mamish. Just as physical bread nourishes the body when it's ingested, absorbed within it. It's transformed into blood and flesh of one's soul. And then will the body live and be sustained. Similarly, through the knowledge and comprehension of Torah by the soul of a person, studied it well, the concentration of his intellect. To the point where the Torah is grasped by his mind and joined with him to become one. Yeah, it's amazing. The body and the soul is being sustained by the bread and the Torah. Both. You need both lechem physically and lechem of the Torah. The lechem and bas, the meat and potatoes of Torah.
Yeah.
You need to feed your body that every day. in a neshama, excuse me, and you need to feed your body physically also. You need both, because azai yichya and iskayim, where the body be live and be sustained. Yidis Torah sagat nefesh adam to hate to be in sichlo. This is just reading it again. So we feel the knowledge and comprehension of Torah by the soul who studies it well with a concentration of his intellect. So that focus is just like when you eat. You probably do focus. Your body is like totally. We probably don't understand how much the body has to do when we eat because we take it for granted. But we're putting this food in our mouth that people used to spend hours in the farms and the fields making this food. Yeah, it wasn't like it just turned up in a bakery. They would spend a lot of their day making this grain till it eventually became grain, till it eventually became lechem. You know, the whole process was a whole to do. And then finally, when you're eating it, you're not just going to put it in your mouth and you're looking at your phone.
Especially then,
Yeah, you're going to be like, every bite is like, you're thinking about all the work that went into it.
They didn't have machinery back then.
Even a lechem, hamotzi lechem in a oretz, is 10 tables. And the 10 fingers you put on the bread connected the 10 malachas that went into making this bread. Apparently there's 10 malachas, so, which connects into Shabbos as well. Bless you, but we don't do those 10 malachas. But the idea is that those 10 malachas that go into making the bread, they give you the ability to appreciate that this was avoda. All my 10 fingers, all my kochas went into making this. So when you're learning as well, you're also, and remember, your body's like a factory. It does all this amazing stuff. It takes this food and the whole process of the breaking it down in your mouth, and go into the whole science of it, the biology of it, and the enzymes and all this stuff that's working as it goes slowly through your body, and it breaking down more and more and more till it gets to the gut. And then there's this whole thing nowadays, everyone's going on and on about the gut and the intelligence of the gut and macro. What's it called? All these names they use, microbiome.
Microbiome.
Yeah, you go to all these podcasters, they're really into it. I don't know if they really know what they're talking about, but it sounds good.
Years ago.
It's like a new idea. Like everyone's into it these days, and they're taking they're having not just, when they have antibiotics, they have to have probiotics, and you have to make sure your biotics and all this stuff inside your body, and you have to this and that. It's become a whole industry in a way. But the point is, there's a whole story going on inside the body to get this bread into your dam, into your nefesh, so you can have chiyas from it. So with the Torah, the body's focused on doing that whole work. Obviously, we're just taking it for granted because we're just used to it already. But the same when you're learning, you have to totally focus in order to turn it into mazon for your neshama. To make it into mazon for the neshama, it takes a focus, and there's a process going on of it becoming ingested inside your soul. From Hashem Yisbarach, from the Svarim that you mentioned, all those different parts of Torah, to bring it in, and you have your own filter, your own neshama, unique chelik of Torah that you connect with, that my chelik, our chelik, chelki, my chelik of Torah. Everyone has their own, or our chelik. We daven all the time. We should have bizok to our chelik of Torah. So this is a unique way of ingesting this spiritual food for your spiritual sustenance. And it says, and it takes focus to study it well for it to come internalized. If you just eat it sloppily, it won't really go inside. It will miss your mouth. I don't know. It will go in your clothes. Yeah, it won't really be internalized healthily, because that's also a thing when you eat. Something I think it's a bit of a lost art. I don't know if anyone is on this level, maybe a tzaddikim. When you eat, you often are just sort of rushing it. It's like getting it, or you're overly indulging in the flavors, the most chesonius part, the way that it looks and the taste. Hashem wants you to enjoy it, but
you're supposed to chew, I think,
it's like
30 or
exactly
40 times.
There's a process of eating that really gets it inside you in the best way, so that then your body has the best way to deal with it, and it does the most for your body.
Yeah.
I think people who are very self-aware and holding in nutrition and stuff like that, they start to understand exactly how they need to eat, what they need to eat, when they need to eat.
It's called mindful eating.
Yeah, so all the more so we're learning. Yeah, this is Hashem's yichud, the ultimate yichud. It's nourishing your soul. Your soul needs this food. So we got to try to do it with focus. We can't be thinking about a business while we're eating or while we're learning. And it's passed so they become one. Nasa mazon nefesh. This is beautiful. Mazen the Nefesh. This is really how you sum this up. No, same place. We can go back if you want. Yeah. That line is really like, we need to take that. That's the summary of this part. It makes Mazen, sustenance for the Nefesh, for the soul. This is what we're doing. So we're learning, and we have to realize that our kids, we're giving them the tools to learn Torah. We're giving them tools to nourish themselves on a spiritual level, so they can open up a sefer. Like for me, I get nachas when I see my kids are generating their own momentum in spirituality. As they get a bit older, they start learning things themselves, and then they start to need to nourish themselves. They go to shirim, or they go. It's not just what the yeshiva is forcing them to do. Yeah, right. They start making their own sedarim. That for me was the key in my process. I always had my own sedarim, and when I left yeshiva and that structure of learning and the the Maggid Shir and the Rebbe and doing it in a group setting, if you don't have your own sedarim, then you're not going to learn. So, and you can listen to stuff online, a rabbi or whatever.
Right. It's not the same.
No, you have to have your own sedarim. You have
remember my days in
just
yeshiva.
Like you have times to eat, you have times to learn.
My days in yeshiva, I remember. Even though I wasn't the best bacher.
Yeah.
I put in a good few hours every day. I had like a really good chavrusa second seder.
That's good.
During or first seder, depending on his mind. I always had one very good chavrusa. It was like there was a certain sustenance you would get.
So even if some other parts of it were difficult, you had that moment of connection.
Yeah.
But your soul was getting nourished.
And then there were times where I was hardcore. I used to learn 12 hours, 13 hours a day. I don't know, it was some crazy number. Wow. It was like super stark then. I grew on pace.
Shiva days.
Pace, brisker pace.
Wow.
Yeah.
The mir.
This is premier. It was like almost like a choser b'tshuva.
Wow.
I was like the worst kid in yeshiva, and then one day I just switched. Like mamish the worst kid in yeshiva.
But then what I always feel there's like that balance.
Right, and then I snapped, and then I went the other way, and I just for about a year or so, year and a half, I was like hardcore until every night, 11, 12 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning, and then one day just snapped, and that was it. And then that's why I went to the Mir Yeshiva. I was like, oh, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. And the Mir Yeshiva, I was on a very light schedule.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
It's not a heavy place?
It's heavy if you want to go, but it's like if they try, I think recently I'm sure they've cracked down, but when I was there, they started to just crack down. Reb Nosson passed away and he was nifter, and so I think his son took over, so he was trying to because the Mir Yeshiva, you were just whoever wanted to come could come. So they started giving fahars, and it was like the type of place you can go and you can show up once a week. No one would really know.
And you can still call yourself a mirbacher.
Yeah.
So you can still get a good shidduch.
Yeah.
But you don't really So
depends on again, if you go to a shir, if you have a Rebbe. So I had a Rebbe there, It was amazing.
Because I went a few times into the mir. I went into the old mir. I went into the new buildings. I remember there's a bunch of chaboras used to learn there as well. I was friends with people there. Huh?
I was thinking my Rebbe there was Ray Beryl Whitman.
It's good.
Oh, he was next level. He was the opposite of the Mir Yeshiva. The Mir Yeshiva is very into learning sugyas.
Yeah.
We're learning the sugya of Gerkatan. I don't know. And they would go through it. And, we're gonna do the famous Rashba. It's very set up. I hated that. I couldn't stand that type of learning. I needed to organically learn it. So this Rebbe was eventually they asked him to leave the mir because he never learned their mahalach. He would just sit and learn. Just do the lot.
Why couldn't they have someone different there?
I think they wanted it to be a specific way, and his way is the total opposite. He wouldn't even he was let's learn. It was really the panemius of Torah. He would get into the nitty gritties of the words of the deepest meanings. What is the idea of someone even having a kinyan? How did Hashem even allow us to own objects? What is the whole idea of a human being even be claiming ownership of an object like that.
Wow.
What is that? That's yours. Why is that yours? Because you're holding it. Says who? You're holding it doesn't mean it's yours.
So you wouldn't take anything for granted.
Nothing. Like every word was like, like what does it mean? Like holding.
So then when you understood it, you really made a kinyan yourself.
You were able to make a kinyan in yourself. Like just
all
the
these
idea is like you take them
in.
for granted. Like what is, I don't remember anything anymore. But like the inyanim were like so deep. It was a mamish it was like panemius Torah, but from like a different angle. I should reach out to him. I wonder if he ever got into Hasidus. He's his type. He's like a fascinating person also. From like Memphis, Tennessee.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was interesting, the shamas. I think
Very interesting.
I think we could round off this Perek, and even though it deserves more time than that, but I think we have enough time to do it. V'chaim, kirba machai chaim. It becomes inner life for it. Ein sof BORUCH It is the blessed Ein Sof. Malbush b'chochmasa v'toroso shebekir bo. So this infinite Kodesh Baruch Hu, who we here for, this is Hashem. He created us, because we have to remember when we're saying this Ein Sof. What does it mean, Ein Sof? The in no end Baruch Hu. Yeah,
right.
It's a way of referring to Hashem because it gives it context. So Hashem is infinite. There's no end. So you just don't start Chas v'Shalom, limiting who we're talking about.
Right.
Talking about the infinite God is clothing His wisdom and in Torah inside of us.
Right.
It's pelagic. If you think of the concept, an infinite creator is clothing His wisdom and Torah inside of us. Right. Us, physical guy who just went to the toilet, 5 minutes before, and all the other things we do for such a low gashmis thing.
Right.
That's one of the things my Rebbe, and we're going to get into this in a minute, brought up. And it's going to be more Perek Shishi. We're going to get into the other side, because there is a whole level of human reality where we have this goof, we have this nefesh behamis, we have all these klippers, and yet in this parak we're bringing the Torah, the oneness of the yichud, into that space of all this low-level human reality.
Right.
So it's really important to bring the to live with those two concepts. We're having the most ultimate yichud, that's nourishing our nefesh, but our nefesh is filled with taivas and needs. Unless you're like a big tzaddik, it's filled with all kinds of drives towards all kinds of stuff. Like it's almost like you're schizo, yeah?
Yeah.
Like you're like 1 minute you're like deep in the sugya and yichud of Hashem, and the next minute you're wanting to fresh and who knows other stuff you want to do. Yeah, and women stuff and other stuff you want to go do with sexual things, and you're no longer in such a place of yichud. Oh, you want to I'm making a yichud with her. I don't know if it's exactly.
It's not the right yichud.
The yichud. Yeah, she's the wrong yichud.
Sometimes I want really good cake.
Cake.
Like a delicious cake. Like the dairy ones, Oh,
real. They don't even make them here, do they?
Kfar Tzion has like a couple of good bakeries.
Oh yeah.
They have one Madeline's. It's a little too sweet for me.
I don't know.
And pizza.
Oh yeah.
Pizza.
Oh yeah.
You don't
It's
have
pizza.
pizza here.
No.
You ever got the pizza MASHA?
Where's that?
That's in Far
It's good. So the point is to listen to what it says now. The Torah has to be in your inner parts, not the pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rav Moshe Wilson once said, "Why is it called the Leaning Tower of Pizza?" It's not, and I was like, "It's not called the Leaning Tower of Pizza. It's called pizza."
Right.
But he said no, because it's like pizza leaning on you. It's leaning on the world, trying to make you more physical, more gash. Right. That was like his way. He saw that as a tower of pizza.
Right.
It's just giving it as a mashal. But the point is, it's going deep inside your kishkas, and he brings now that Eitz Chaim, Shamem Dalet, Perek Gimel, Shabushe HaNishamas began Eden Heina Mitzvahs. It says in Eitz Chaim in the Holy Zohar that, or not in the Zohar, sorry, the Eitz Chaim is this from the Arizal, that mitzvahs are the garments of the soul in paradise. Yeah, Rav Chaim Vital. The paradise souls enjoy the radiance of the divine presence. It is also an infinite being capable of bearing the infinite radiance. It must be shielded by spiritual garments. The mitzvahs is performed during life on earth, provide the soul with these garments. Perform mitzvahs envelops the soul. So now it came back to the mitzvahs allow you to absorb this light.
Right.
So that in the Gan Eden. So
it's interesting how just a little diak. I wonder what it means. Here it says nasa mazan lenefesh.
Yeah.
And over here now he's talking about neshamas.
Yeah. There's definitely is chilukim. Because nefesh is like more the vivifying force,
Right.
Neshama is more like a ruchnius thing.
Right.
I'm just saying. I don't know if that's for sure.
I hear that, but it's like I wonder.
There is chilukim. There is.
Like nefesh is of the 5 levels. It's the lowest is the.
Yeah, it's the one that's more directly impacting the life force of a person.
The first one.
It's the one that's directly the bridge between the body and the soul.
Is the neshama after nefesh or after?
It's after. So there's nefesh, ruach, and then neshama.
Nefesh, ruach, neshama.
And then you get to chay yechida. But chay yechida is like, unless you're like a big tzaddik, you're generally not, on those levels. Ours is more nefesh, ruach, neshama.
Nefesh, ruach, neshama.
It's more everyday avoda.
Does Tanya go into those in Yanim?
He mentioned it. He did categorize it.
But
He gets more detailed later on. He gets into
fleeting.
He gets details with the Surahs and the Lamas and the Neshamas, all the different levels. He starts to categorize it more. It's a process, yeah?
Yeah, mama.
But Torah he mazah neshamas asked b'olam hazeh b'Torah lishma k'mo shekos b'zor v'yakal dafurish. Now it brings the Zohar. Tonahan is the food of the soul in paradise, in Gan Eden. That's what they call paradise. Not paradise where the girls are, that song from Guns N' Roses. It's the real paradise, which is engaged in Torah for its own sake during their life on earth. So that's the paradise. Yeah, it's the Torah lishma. That's what the food of the soul is. Torah lishma of Gan Eden is Torah lishma. Learning Torah this is now we're going to read what it says in the Zohar.
Oh, interesting that it says it here. A little note from Chaim Miller.
Go on.
In the afterlife.
Afterlife, paradise.
Your soul will be exposed to intense divine revelation to remain comfortable in that environment.
We need to have done mitzvahs.
It needs to protect itself from receiving more revelation than it can handle.
That's the clothing of the mitzvahs.
And absorb whatever is safe and comfortable for it.
So that's why
interesting idea.
Biederman brings a mashal this week from last Parshas YISRAEL. He brings this mashal. The guy sees a rich dude. He's getting all this covered. He's wearing a Gucci. He doesn't say Gucci, but I'm adding that in. Yeah. He's wearing a Gucci Louis Vuitton outfit, and he's like, looks great. And everyone's like, wow, look how beautiful this rich guy looks. And then a poor guy figures out how, like through the Corona extra funds or whatever it was, the extra free money that was flying around, he figures out how to buy his own one. So he puts it on, and no one's giving him any respect. And he's like, why not? And they're like, well, look, because underneath you've got rags, you've got like a dirty hat, you haven't had a shower, you've got no swag, your shoes are broken, your trousers are ripped. So you've got the fancy jacket that the rich guy's wearing, but everything else doesn't fit.
Right.
So too, like in the Torah, if you just go up to Shemayim and you're Talmid Chacham, but you didn't do mitzvahs, you're missing the garments.
You need a complete package.
Yeah, it's a full package. Yeah, to be able to absorb it. Yeah, you have to do the mitzvahs.
It's a good Indian.
So you have to do the mitzvahs to be the full shleimus. You have to do the chesed, the ma'asim tovim, the mitzvahs. Yeah. That's the malbush.
One of the things I was going to say to you, one of the things that was triggering for me was when he's focusing on the idea of learning Torah. It's a triggering idea because he puts basically saying that it's the most important thing. The
yichud, but without the mitzvahs, you don't have any protection. It's too much light.
I've come across people in my life who were Talmidei Chachamim, but on the inside they were like mamish, like just.
And they're not dressed properly. Their clothes are not. They're not mechubad. They're not.
In the word of Reb Shlomo Kabach, they were so ugly on the inside.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've come across those type of yidden.
Yeah. So that's when the Torah has become chokhmah. Like any other chachma, God forbid.
Right, just a chachma.
It's a wisdom. They have wisdom, and they got Hashem gave them a good mind, but they didn't internalize it. Like they become godly and influence.
This is a perfect example.
Yeah.
I went away for Pesach.
Yeah.
This is bad. We went to Orlando.
Yeah.
So Orlando, the way it worked there is like these little community homes.
Yeah.
Like in this just.
So I've never been on one of these things.
It's like a few hundred homes. Like
I've only ever been at home for Pesach. I don't know.
It's like a few hundred homes, like in just this gated community. They all look the same. So on Pesach, all the Jews come into those places. They get their own houses. So it's like a step up from a hotel in that, like you have like your own house, your own.
Nice.
You're not like in Rosh Hashanah all the time.
Yeah.
So anyways, and what they do is they turn a lot of the houses into shuls, and everyone comes with their own little chevra. And so I remember walking past one of the shuls, and a lot of people rent golf carts there because it's like all over the place. Yeah. It's so hard. So it's a lot of walking. And so I went there, and there was a golf cart parked on the sidewalk. And so I went over to one of the kids there, And I said to them, you should really move the golf cart. It's a Chil Hashem. And he's like, it's Shabbos already. He was like an adult, like a young adult.
Yeah.
Not like a kid. I was like 18, 19 years old. And I was like, okay, ask one of the housekeepers or one of the cleaners to move the golf cart. And he's like, it's Amir La'akum. And I was like, but it's a burning Chil Hashem. I was like, you guys just parked your golf cart in the middle of the sidewalk. Like, people walk there all the time. It's not only Jews. And he's like, and then he started like making a chakira, like what's more important, Chil Hashem or, and I was like, in my mind, I'm like, you missed the boat. Like, this isn't about like what's right and what's wrong. It's like, you guys came to a community, you're guests here, there are people who live here, there are people who are vacationing here, it's not only Jews.
Yeah.
And you guys have treated this like your backyard. You've parked.
It's Mina Shemaim, you bring this up, because I had a situation last night, my wife was worried it was a Chil Hashem, how we dealt with it. I wasn't sure. It was complicated. Yeah, these are. Yeah, my wife's tuned with this kind of stuff. I'm a little bit, I need to still do tshuva. Yeah, men can. That's the problem. Men can sort of intellectualize.
Right.
Whereas my wife's like just pure like Rots and Hashem.
Men are a lot more intellectual than.
Yeah, but my wife's like just trying to do Rots and Hashem. She's not interested in all this like svaras,
Right.
And that's where my genius can be a problem. Yeah, my intelligence can be my YITZCHAK. So because my wife, for example, she's spending what she's doing today. She's like having all these dreams about my son in the army and the whole thing. And he's called her now a negist, like a guy with a giant machine gun. That's what he's got.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's got a big machine gun. Yeah.
Nice.
So he is quite a kibbutz in the army.
Continue to watch over him.
I mean. So we're dedicating our learning to him again. And my wife's not sleeping well and just having dreams about him and losing him and chasing him, and she'll be for the good. Anyway, so she's really affected. And then, so she's like, what am I going to do today? Instead of sitting there getting absorbed into the pain of having a son and all the other nisyonos we have, like our freezing cold house instead of a nice warm apartment we had in Yerushalayim. So she's like, instead of getting absorbed with all the nisyonos we have, she said she's just going to go do MASHA today. That means she's spending the whole day out on the road helping sick people. Because that's channeling MASHA, Magen David Adam.
Oh, okay.
She's spending the whole day. No one pays her for it. She spends all day with her gun and a MASHA, Magen David Adam outfit on an ambulance with a mentor. She has a gun. She has to have one to go out to these places. They end up in Arab villages or all kinds of things. To go help people. And I'm like, I don't connect to what you're doing, but Zaygazin, Ashrecha, this is what she wants to do with her Sunday. Go around helping sick people get to hospital and all kinds of stuff,
Easy cap.
And so it's a neshama. Some people are just neshama. They just are neshama. Yeah. Whereas me, it's like I have to get my YITZCHAK to shut up.
Yeah.
The meaning of Torah for its own sake, with the intent of building one's soul by comprehending the Torah. Each kafi siklo kamashkos YITZCHAK, and this is where we were busy with the Zohar. Yeah. Yeah, but binding our soul. How are we learning? The Rebbe Shlita observed also finds it necessary. Yeah, we're almost finished. To find the term lishma, lest we misinterpret the Zohar to mean the factor that caused the Torah become food for the soul is some other incidental meaning of lishma. The meaning of study with the intent of binding one's soul to God by comprehending the Torah. The food of soul refers to level indwelling light. The garments refers to level encompassing light. Yeah, so there's or panimi. Right. This is the first time we've come across this lashon now. I've mentioned it, but this is what it is. Mazan is or panimi, it's the aspect of or panimi. Mabushim bechinas makifim is surrounding light. Right. So there's internalizing the light, and then there's the external light. L'chein amar b'sein zal shetalmid Torah shikul keneged kol mitzvahs. For this students have said that the Torah study is equal to all the other mitzvahs combined. Lefi shemitzvahs hein levushim levad, but Torah he mazan gam levush lenefesh hamisiklis. For mitzvahs are garment alone, while Torah is food, and also garments for the intellectual soul. Torah serves a garment, one clothes himself within it by concentration on it and study of it. How much so if one expresses the word of Torah orally. So then there's an aspect of the learning which is also or makiv, which is a mitzvah. Remember, we said that before. So it's like you've got two. You've got the orpanimi of the learning, this devekas to the yichud, and then you've got this havel pio, the learning of the breath and the words, but also become garments, become a or makiv, the surrounding light.
Interesting. I mean, this is the machlokas. Sometimes people have he's saying be'iyuna v'limuda, and he's saying specifically through through learning be'iyun, through immersion, like an immersion blender.
So I'm just showing you the time. So it's
time.
BORUCH, I don't want you to be late for your Shalom Bayis.
Let me text my bathroom.
The point is that this is based on the YITZCHAK and the Zohar, but we are shehavel adiba nas bechinas or makiv k'moshe kosev b'pri YITZCHAK.
Right.
And the Arizal, we're learning very deeper concepts about understanding what this yichud that we're doing every time we're learning. And it's really important to Mozen gamle lavush nefesh hamesichlis amshbo beina velimda koshi ken shemotz pib bediba shehavel. It's sort of all the more so.
Right, you got to talk it out loud.
Yeah.
That's when you
and that manifests it.
Used to they would Rav Nachman talks about this too. They would
say the words. Yeah.
They would say it out loud and they would sing it. It's a good yeshiva shenigah, like a nice Mordechai ben David niggun.
Oh. Yeah, the niggun of Torah, very important.
Mama!
Should be a good week. We just started.